But no, hi Adrian, how you doing? You all right?
I'm good, Adam. Thanks very
Good,
much
good.
once again for inviting me. It's great.
Yeah, no, you're very welcome. It's good to finally meet like face to face. Like
Face to
on.
face through the
Yeah,
medium of digital.
yeah,
It's the best we can do during obviously this lockdown,
yeah.
and the fact that you're over. You're in Wales, right?
I'm in I'm in Cornwall, Cornwall.
Oh,
Similar
wow,
to
you're in
Wales.
Wales. Very similar. I get them mixed
Yeah,
up all the time.
countryside.
I was wondering why sometimes I end up in the wrong place, but there you go.
Yeah, no, it's kind of similar. I mean, the hilly terrain and like country and stuff. So similar resemblance, but
Beautiful part of the world, Cornwall. Love it.
yeah, it is nice. It's different world really. It's been interesting with this whole lockdown situation,
Yeah,
how things have been down here. As I think people are allowed to kind of come on holiday now, can't
yeah.
the campsites and things like that. So it is getting busier. But I just think, well, it is what it is, isn't it? You
It
can't.
is. It is. Are you anywhere near, or do you know Perranporth?
Perranporth is about 40 minutes
Okay, that's the
drive.
last time
Yeah,
I was there. To I'm a terrible surfer, but I love it anyway. Just love being in the
yeah,
water, and surfing's just an excuse to get in the water. Even though people go, "Oh,
yeah,
you're mad," yeah, but it's just such a lovely thing to do. Is to just
yeah,
feel that connection with nature and the
yeah.
water. So yeah, I was down in
No,
Perranporth a couple of years ago.
nice. Yeah, it's a nice part of the world.
Yeah,
Perranporth, there it's really nice and quiet there. I think I did go there, and there's a nice beach there. There's a is it a pub called the Watering Hole, and they have
that sounds familiar.
lots of live gigs and music there, which is quite good.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice.
No,
Really nice that you're out there. Really, really nice.
yeah, no,
Um,
I sorry,
Take full advantage of it. Take full advantage of it because sometimes the things that are right on our doorstep we take for granted.
yeah, no, I agree. Like I think I I moved down here when I was 19, just turned
Okay.
19 from Nottingham. So
Wow.
I hated it to begin with because I've been in a city for 19 years,
Yeah.
and then it was like I had no friends, cut off
Yeah.
from the things that are normal.
Yeah.
Was I think I've kind of learned to appreciate it as time has gone on, as
Yeah.
I've matured a bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really weird, isn't it? Like you said, you can take things for granted sometimes, and then sometimes things have to happen, or you have to mature to kind of appreciate stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, using your word mature, I just like to say use the word evolve because, or even just adapt because it can happen to anyone at any time of their
Mm,
life, whether they're young or they're older. Um, we as humans, we get used to situations. That's just who we are. We get comfortable somewhere, or we get used to a period of time in a place, either geographically or mentally,
yeah.
and then it's very difficult for us as humans. I mean, we're hotwired to sort of resist change,
Mm,
and that's something that we need to really address in ourselves, and we need to push our boundaries of comfort and go and seek somewhere, and I
mm,
don't mean just physically, where perhaps we thought wouldn't suit us or that we wouldn't like, and look for the positives in it. I'm sure when you moved down from Nottingham down to the lovely Cornwall, as you just said, you didn't like it to begin with. It was
mm,
the complete antithesis of everything you were used to and everything you liked and enjoyed about Nottingham, about the city
mm,
life.
mm.
But no doubt that since you've been there, you've been looking at the positives, and now you've come to love it and treat it as home.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I think, like you said, you go to certain places and we can kind of get stuck in our ways.
Yeah,
Like bad behaviors and where we are in that. And I think like the whole kind of current situation is like a good example as well because got used to how things are going, how
yeah,
things are, and then people are like they've taken on new behaviors and new habits, and then going and doing, probably going back to work or you know, a new system of habits and
yeah.
actions. People are going to
Well,
be like, don't
that's why
quite
this
like
whole
it.
lockdown, this whole situation of the pandemic in general, I think that the real the real difficulty isn't avoiding catching the disease.
Mm.
It's actually dealing with the change that's involved with avoiding the disease. That is the real problem for us as human beings, I think. And I think that's our biggest struggle. The struggle isn't, oh, you know, am I going to catch it if I go here, and am I 2 meters away from this person or that person? It wasn't so much that. It was the actual overall change, first of all, of us being stuck indoors for 3 months. That was massive and instantaneous change. And you either adapted or you went slightly mad. Which is normal. I mean, so a lot of people did. They got frustrated and got angry and depressed. These are to be expected. These are emotions. These are behaviours to be expected. And now that lockdown looks like it's going to be easing, if not lifted completely, we're going to have to adapt it again to being out of our homes, which we've been used to. So it was finally, after 3 months, some of us are probably getting really comfortable with it. Go, yeah, I've got this. You know, I can handle this now. And all of a sudden, no, right, you're back at work. Well, hang on a minute. I've just got used to this. And now you're asking me to, So this is what I'm talking about, is that it's how fast human beings can change or evolve or adapt, whichever word you want to use, whichever adjective fits best for you. But this is the issue that faces us as human beings, is how quickly can you adapt? And the bottom line is, the quicker you adapt, the quicker you survive. And this is something that, like anything in life, the more you practice it, the better skilled you get at it. And the more we get used to, and the more we get comfortable in just one way of life and one way of living and one set of behaviors, following one set of regulations. God forbid if those regulations change, if those rules change, if that path changes. This is what the lockdown's shown us. Drastically changing the scenario. Imagine people who suddenly get told they've got cancer or some other serious life-changing illness. Or they're involved in a serious accident and they lose a limb. Their life changes like that. And this is all part and parcel of the same thing that I'm talking about, is how do we as human beings get our brains, which is a muscle, to adapt, because this is our strength. It's like a muscle. It's like us going to the gym. You go to the gym to stay flexible, to stay healthy, to lift bigger weights, to be stronger, mentally and physically. And we should do the same thing with this, with the brain. And especially, there's so many ways you can do that. But the thread that I'm talking about today is the thread of change. When you see some, they do this. I forgot what it is, because I'm not a gym bunny, but I go there and I see them mix it up with the weights. So they'll go for a super heavy one, and then they go for a super light one. And that struck me as very interesting when I watched someone do that. And I asked them why. I stopped the guy. I said, why did you do that? You know, you're lifting 32 kilos and then you're down to like 10. And he said, sudden change had to make my brain work harder and the muscle work harder, because it has to suddenly adapt to lifting something heavy to something light. And he said, it's not about the fact of lifting heavy. It's about the change. It's about the adaptation. And that really stayed with me, which is what I'm remembering in this moment. And I thought, well, that's exactly how our mind should be challenged constantly. And we need to challenge ourselves, because life isn't going to necessarily challenge us when we're ready for it. So to prepare for these sudden changes in our life, let's do things that push us out of our comfort zone. Let's lift that heavy weight and then lift that lightweight. Let's do something a little bit crazy. Let's mix it up. For example, going back to you've moved from Nottingham, you know, from a city all the way down to the sea. I mean, it couldn't get more different.
No, I completely agree. Like I said, I think, you know, what you mentioned in terms of weights, it's important, like you said, to push ourselves and to grow, and to, I usually say, like, you know, get comfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And it's like, you know, you grow through, you know, if you lift the same weight all the time, you're going to get used to it, and you're probably going to get bored.
Exactly. You don't do the same routine. You mix it up. And that's what makes you a more well-rounded person. It makes you a fitter person as well, because you're using all the different disciplines. And that's what we need to try and do in our own lives, is try something new, try something different, mix it up.
No, I definitely agree, and I think that's how you evolve, isn't it? That's how
Absolutely.
you know, your thinking changes with that as well. You develop your self-esteem and confidence. And I remember when I've had you on the podcast, you know, via audio previously, you mentioned you traveled a lot and you've
Yeah,
gone to lots of different countries. I
I
mean,
have.
that's you must have grown and pushed yourself out of your comfort zone going to was it?
Absolutely. I went to India, Israel, South America, Bolivia, specifically. But yeah, that's just a few off the top of my head that I've been to.
Yeah.
And those places have challenged me physically, mentally, emotionally,
Hmm.
completely. They've made me the person I am today, through, if you like, some of the traumas and difficulties that I had being in those
Hmm.
countries and pushing myself. I was
Hmm.
alone. I had to fend for myself, look after myself, survive. And by doing that, it's made me more aware. It's made me more open.
Hmm.
I would certainly recommend it to anybody. I mean, not to follow in my footsteps and do those things necessarily, but if you think about our lives, we're all guilty. I mean, we all do it. I do it as well. We tend to follow a pattern where we think we're going to get a job, we're going to earn a living, we're going to have a family, and the goal is just to end up in a nice house with kids and a dog and a cat. And that's the goal, seems to be comfortable.
Hmm.
And I've always had that. Like, I'm no different to anybody else. You know, I always had
Yeah.
that dream. Your aim is to be comfortable in life. But lately I've been thinking, really the aim should be to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Hmm.
Can you deal with anything that life throws at you?
Yeah.
And that is the strength of mind that I think we
Hmm.
should be looking for. We shouldn't be looking for that easy win necessarily, that easy job. Oh, I can do that, so I'm going to do that.
Hmm.
That's easy money. Great. Okay, that's good. But you already know you can do that. It's like you going to the gym and knowing you can pick up a 5 kilo a dumbbell.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
point doing it then if it's easy. How are
Yeah.
you going to grow? How are you going to improve? How are you going to test yourself? How are you going to push your limits? There's
Yeah.
no other way except lifting something that you're going to find difficult and you're
Hmm.
going to hurt afterwards.
Hmm.
That is what it's really all about. We need to translate that into our daily lives.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm not
And I
saying
think,
put yourself through something that's painful for your entire day, but I'm just saying,
yeah.
you know, you got to go through periods, be it a day, be it a week, be it a month, be it a
Hmm.
year, be it a season
Hmm.
of a challenge where you are finding life a bit hard, a bit complicated, doing things that you've never done before in your life.
Hmm.
Perhaps starting a business, perhaps creating a you've never done it before. You think, well, normally I'd hire a web developer to do all this. Do it yourself. See if you can.
Hmm. Yeah.
Test
Yeah.
yourself, and then you come out of it. And some things you go, do you know what? I know that is most definitely not my strength. I was absolutely crap at it, and I'm going to hire an expert. Great. Fine. You've learned something about yourself. It's like you trying to lift up a 50 kilogram dumbbell and go, you know what? I can't do that yet. I'm not
Hmm.
ready for got to build up to that. So go
Yeah.
and do something else. It's taught you something. There's
Yeah.
no losing, only learning, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to find out that some things you can lift. Maybe you go and lift up an 18 kilo dumbbell and you're like, wow, you know, I can lift it. I didn't think I could lift it, and I can lift it.
Hmm.
Same thing with some things that you push yourself through in your daily life. You think, I don't know, I haven't got the self-confidence to do that. Do
Hmm.
it. And you may
Hmm.
surprise yourself.
Yeah.
And you may go, wow, what was the fear I had about that all along? You know, I never thought I could do that. I did that
Hmm.
with everything I did. Like I said, surfing. I just rented out a surfboard and just took myself out in the water. I didn't take any lessons. I was just watching people and I thought, how hard can it be? What's the worst that can happen?
Hmm.
Just go and do it. I mean, I
Yeah.
did it. I didn't do it well, but but I did it. But I did it, and I proved it to myself. And
Hmm.
anyone can do it.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I think it's so important, like you said, to throw yourself into the things that are hard, you know,
Yeah,
and ask yourself, what am I going to get from this?
yeah,
Why is it hard? What am I going to benefit from this? That's what I ask myself if I'm like lifting a weight and this hurts. I'm like, what am I going to get? What am I going to gain from this? Rather than, and that's quite a difficult thing to do,
absolutely. Of course it is.
because something hurts, you want to put it down. So it's like training,
Yeah,
like you said, your brain to go, no, just
yeah.
keep
No,
going.
we are hot wired to
Mm,
resist this. So nobody should be like, oh, but you know, it's hard. I know it's hard, and I don't want to do it. Yeah, I know you don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Mm.
I'd be a psycho if I went for things that I thought, well, I know this is going to hurt me, and I'm going to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to realize that you are doing it for a specific reason.
Mm.
I'm doing this to learn more about myself. End
Yeah.
of. I'm doing this to know what my limits are. End of. That's it. You're not doing it just because you're a bit psycho and you want to feel pain and you want to feel bad. You're doing it for a reason. You go to the gym for a reason. You go to a spin class for a reason.
Mm.
You know, and you must expect the pain. You know it's going to hurt. You know that the spin class guy is going to push you. He's going to punish you, and you're going to feel that pain when you come off that bike. But you go for knowing well that that is what you're going for. That's what you paid for.
Yeah.
You paid for that class.
Yeah.
You psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to expect it, and we have to realize that we're doing this for a reason, and for a good reason, and for the best reason. We're pushing ourselves to learn more about ourselves and to be stronger in the long run, to know more in the long run about ourselves.
Mm. Yeah.
So change. Do it.
Mm. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And I think you bang on with what you said. And I think, like, you know, you just got to jump in and try.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be easy. You know, like, I think it's like anything, isn't it? Anything you do, it's not going to be easy straight away. And I think we like instant gratification. Like, you know, I've been guilty of it. I like to hit the ground running and be confident at things. And I've had to learn it takes time.
Yeah, this is human. I have the same thing. I like to hit the ground running. I like to think that you know, my first effort is the best effort. And this leads on to another nice little side thing to this, which is the ego. We have to keep putting the ego down. We have to keep sort of pushing it down, because that is one of the problems in humanity, if you like, is that the ego keeps telling us no, or the ego keeps telling us that we are the best. You know, nothing is better than us. We're the best. We know everything. We can do anything. And that's all well and good. But there has to be a time when we put that down and we say, listen, you know, I'm not listening to the ego. I'm not. It's not just about me. I want to know more about myself. I want to know more about my limits, but it's not necessarily just to show off. You don't need to tell everyone what you can do, what your new skill set is. Just go and do it and learn about yourself.
Yeah, no, I think that's major, and I think that's important. I think, like you said, if you're doing something just to show off or show other people what you can do, it doesn't feel the same. Like, okay, you might make a point, that might feel good, but if you're doing something for yourself, I think you've got a lot more fire in you and motivation to see that through and probably do it better compared to just showing people on social media what you're doing. Like, I see everyone's different, everyone's got their own mind, and people post what they want, but I don't post myself going for runs. I don't, you know, I just keep to myself, and that I think that makes me feel better, because I haven't got anything to prove, and like you said, it's that balance of the ego, and that's that difficult thing where, you know, we've all got an ego.
Yeah, of course we have.
It's that balance, isn't it, of knowing it.
Well, this is it. This is what I'm talking about: pushing your limits, learning about yourself for yourself. You're not pushing those limits. You're not going to British military fitness and pushing yourself to show someone else that you've done it. You should be going to the gym. You should be pushing yourself. You should be going traveling alone. You should be going and doing starting a business or doing something that you've never done before for you, not for anybody else. You should be doing it because you want to do it, because you want to know how it feels, because you want to tick that box and say, you know, I've always wanted to do that, and I've just never had the guts or the self-confidence or the courage to do it. And you know what? Today's the day I'm going to do it. And you do it for you. You don't do it for anybody else. You don't do it because people have been maybe telling you should do it. You don't do it because you want to get one up on somebody. You don't want to do it for any reason other than you want to prove to yourself that you've tried it. Maybe you'll fail at it. This is the other thing. I'm very conscious of people saying, you know, go and do it. You can do it. Yes, there is that possibility, but I'm a big believer in balance. There is the possibility you will succeed, and there is the possibility you will fail. But either way, you are guaranteed to learn something that you didn't know the day before.
Yeah.
And we're on this planet to do one thing, and that is to learn.
Yeah.
Learn about ourselves and learn about our interaction of ourselves with other people and the nature around us.
Yeah. No, I think I completely agree. And I think that's key to being a human being, isn't it? To learning new things and meeting new people. And it makes you think, and it kind of flips your perspective a little bit, because you see things in a different light. Because you meet people who've got from different backgrounds and they've had struggles, and you think to yourself, gosh, that person's been through more than me. You know, what am I complaining about? Or
Absolutely. And this is the whole thing of pushing yourself. Go and, if you go abroad, don't just go to for example, the tourist hotspots. Go and see how the locals live. Yeah. Go and see how the locals live. Go and see what's going on. Go and sort of dip your little toe in the culture, the real culture. Maybe even a little bit of the politics. Go and see what makes other people tick. Go and see what makes other people get emotional about. Go and see how they live, and go and see how it differs from how you live. And somewhere along the lines, as you said, you might find people that you think, wow, what am I complaining about? You guys have really got some serious issues that I couldn't even begin to deal with, that I couldn't imagine. But then again, you might also think, you know what, we're all the same. We're all fighting. We've all got problems. And that's what makes us all one. We're all fighting about something that isn't going right in our lives, or that we want to correct, or that we want to improve.
Yeah.
And the only way we're going to improve, the only way we're going to win those fights and those battles, is by pushing ourselves.
Yeah.
And learning.
Massively.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
really
think
what it's all about.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I definitely agree. And I think this whole experience has been, like you said, one big challenge in so many ways. And I think we can only grow from this, I think, in some way, because it's thrown us completely out of comfort zone in some aspect, even if we're staying at home.
Yeah. How did some people, this is something we couldn't have contemplated, probably ever. If somebody had told you 12 months ago, 12 months from now, you're going to be stuck at home, you won't be allowed to do anything, you won't be allowed to go out, you won't be allowed to see your mates, you'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? But here we are. And some of us have been thrown together, and some of us have been torn apart. Some of us have stayed in the same house that we were just as lockdown happened. So some of us are having to live with our parents, or living with in-laws, or living, maybe in uncomfortable situations. Some people are unlucky enough to have been separated at the time of lockdown, and they haven't seen people for 3 months that they care deeply about. So there's all kinds of emotions going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really a head case of a situation.
Yeah.
And although no one could have prepared you for this, and I appreciate that, people are saying, oh yeah, but what could have prepared you for such a thing? Nothing. And I appreciate that completely. However, the fact that if you have tested yourself doing various things with various different types of people in various different types of situations, it helps you a little bit mentally. It helps you strength of mind, how to cope with complex and complicated situations. And this is what we should be doing.
Yeah.
As much as we can do. As much as we can do. As again, it's very important just to clarify. No one's asking you to do something that's going to really put you at risk in life, either financial or physical. It's like going to the gym. That's why I like using that analogy. You don't go and lift a 500 kilo weight. You can't lift it. You can't. So just don't. But do push yourself with what you think you're comfortable with, and push yourself a little bit more.
Yeah. No, that's it. And you definitely, when you reflect on that and you can see how far you've come, you feel good about yourself.
Of course you do. Of course you do, because you've just opened up a new door. You've opened up new opportunities, new possibilities for yourself. You've done it. You've opened that door. And now it's up to you to walk through that door, should you wish to do so. But you've unlocked it. It's like a game. You've got the key to the door, and it's up to you to unlock it whenever you want to.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, yeah, isn't it? Like, I think from doing the podcast, I've learned a lot. I think, like, you know, like I did the first one I did with you is what? I think it was like in the first 15 I did.
Yeah.
Then that was before this happened.
Oh, yeah, it's before Christmas, I think.
Yeah. Quite a few months ago. And it's like, yeah, you know, like to begin with, me starting out, it was scary. I don't think it would work.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it's weird as people because we've all, before we start something, sometimes we just got all this negativity. And you think to yourself, like, why is that? I've not even tried yet, but I've got all the negativity telling me it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But like you said, when you try and you do things, you grow and you realize, you know, and it's fascinating. You know, that's why I think we're so fascinating as people, because we're all different, and it makes you wonder why, you know, we think how we do and why we do what we do.
All those things are the things that fascinate me as well, Adam. I mean, this is just the eternal question: what makes us tick, and why? And it's a mixture. It's a mixture. We're all chemicals at the end of the day, and you know the how we're made up of how much of a particular chemical interacting with other chemicals. It all, the result is different for everybody, and it's a mixture of education. It's a mixture of culture. It's a mixture of nature and nurture. All these things shape us. But as we get older, and as we have more life experiences, and as we become more independent, we have the ability, which is this is the important thing. We have the ability to shape ourselves. And some of us don't realize that we have that power, and we just accept everything we've been taught. We just accept everything we see. We just accept everything we hear. And I'm all for people awakening, not rejecting everything, because no, I'm not a radical, but I'm just interested in people saying, okay, this is everything I know so far as a human being. This is everything I know to be true, that I believe to be true. Now let me check it. Let me check it out for myself. Is it true what I've been told about X, Y, and Z? Should I fear these people? Are these people bad for me? Is this situation bad for me? You know, my society tells me so, my community tells me so, my family tell me so, but what do I think? And not even think. This is the even more to the point, is I like empirical evidence, which is doing it for yourself, seeing it for yourself, smelling it, hearing it, touching it for yourself. That's empirical evidence. Do you know, with empirical evidence, what it is that is important to you? What are your beliefs? I continue to test myself. Everything I see on the news, every country I go to. Oh, well, I've heard this about this country. I've heard this about these people. Well, let me go and see for myself. Make up your own minds. And we can do that as humans. We can do that as adults. And we can do that if we push our limits, if we keep learning, we keep picking up those weights, we keep stretching our minds. And that's what we have to do. We have to do that. We must never just sit on the sofa, or our minds sit on the sofa and just sit back and think, yeah, I know it all. No. That's really dangerous. There's so much out there that we haven't done, and that we need to do. I mean, you've started this podcast. I mean, that's amazing. That you push yourself out of your comfort zone to do this. This is a step in the direction that you want to reach. I know that you're really, really interested in potentially working for Gary Vee at some stage. All this could be leading up to that, because you're having experience, you're learning how to do something, you're trying new things all the time. So it's all important. You're pushing yourself. You're doing something that you were worried about, you were self-conscious about, you potentially tried to talk yourself out of at some point. Just before you did it. Yeah, we all do that. And this is where you've succeeded, and this is where we must all succeed, is breaking through that barrier of the little voice in our head that says, no, you can't do this. Oh, you'll be crap at this. Oh, you'll make a fool of yourself. Don't do this. You don't know what you're doing. You're not an expert. No, just tell that voice to shut up and take a back seat and give it your best shot.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, Adrian. And thank you for, saying that. It's really, really, really kind and really, really means a lot.
That's the truth, man. It's great what you've done.
Well, thank you. And like you said, I really appreciate that. And, it really means a lot. And, from the bottom of my heart, it's great to, connect with you because, like when we do podcasts, we talk about really good topics and it flows. And, I'm so grateful to be able to do this with you.
Yeah.
And, it's.
Well, I'm grateful it was you that found me. So I'm grateful to you.
Yeah.
So
No,
it just shows you, you've got a good eye, you've got a good ear. For people and getting great people on your show, which I love listening to your podcast because of it. Just keep doing it, because now you've found something that you never thought you could do, and you proved to yourself, most importantly, that you can do it, which means now you've got to start looking for a new challenge.
Yeah.
You can't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable, Adam, doing this. Get comfortable.
I know, that's it.
You've got to look for a new challenge now. You've done this. This is done, right? I've got this. Podcast? No. Yeah, that was yesterday, mate. That was so yesterday. That was so 2019.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, like you said, it's so important to, not get complacent and just to, like you said, look at what you're doing. And I've kind of been thinking about that recently, like with, questions to ask people. Like I'm thinking, I usually ask certain questions on each podcast. I'm like, I need to kind of think of other questions to ask. What questions can I ask? So that's a challenge as well. And just trying to, like you said, do things differently and things like that.
Yeah. Well, you'll get better at it. The more you do anything, the better you get. You speak to any DJ or radio presenter who does local or national radio, and they'll tell you the same thing. They say, I've been doing this 15 years, and only now I feel I'm getting the hang of it. Different people take different lengths of time to get into the flow of whatever they're doing. Okay, some people are lucky and they just literally do hit the ground running. And for them, it's a gift. And we have to acknowledge that some people are gifted, and we shouldn't be jealous. We shouldn't try and measure ourselves against them because we can't. They've been given a gift. That's great for them. The rest of us have to just actually work at it. And that's what we have to do. We will have gifts in other areas, and we have to find. If you don't know what your gift is, I would suggest that is your number one thing on your shopping list of things to do. What is my gift? What am I really good at that I could just do blindfolded, one hand tied behind my back? What could you do? And once you've established what that is, then figure out what you're going to do with that gift.
Yeah. I agree. And there's that quote that ties into that, isn't it? I don't know who said it, but it's like the two most important days of your life are when you're born.
The day you're born and the day you find out why. I love that quote as well.
Yeah.
I think it was Mark Twain.
Is it Mark?
I think it was. Before people start writing, no, it wasn't. It was my dad. I tentatively say I think it might be Mark Twain. But I think
it was. But it's massive, and I think like that's so important, isn't it? What is your gift, like you said? Because I think someone said to me on a previous podcast, I went on this guy's podcast the other day, and he said the richest place is the graveyard or something, because it's people who've taken, died with their dreams and ideas and stuff.
Absolutely.
And like you said, some famous people, a lot of successful people find out when they're like, is it Henry Ford?
I still don't know what to do with my life when I grow old.
When
I grow up. Really, so don't be afraid. Don't be in a rush. That's one of my golden pieces of advice for anybody is don't be under any pressure to have achieved anything by a certain age. That is, in my personal opinion, one of the most dangerous pieces of advice that anyone could give you, that you've got to have accomplished this X, Y, and Z by the time you're 30 or you're nothing. And I've had that said to me.
Yeah.
And you know, just walk away from people like that. It's not going to do you any good hearing negative and constraining things like that, because it's just not true. It's simply not true. You could decide to do anything at the age of 50, 60. You can become a celebrity at 70.
Yeah.
Look at I think he's Major now, Captain Tom.
Yeah.
You know, I'd never heard of his name before now, and you know, he's 100 years old. And he's,
Tom Moore,
and he's a celebrity now. You can do anything at any age that you want to, if you set your mind to it, and it's something that you want to do. You have to figure out what you want to do first. That's my biggest problem, but that's another story.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Like you said, there's no age limit. I think, like you said, it's down to you. Like, you have to figure out what it is you want to do, but you know, just do it, and you know, whatever that is, and there's no strain on time.
I mean, I've changed. I still continue to change. I'm very pleased to say I'm not proud to say that I constantly change. I'm not one of these people that says, you know, this is what I believe in and that's that. I don't nail my colours to the flag, colours to the mast. Every time I hear differing opinions and I agree with that opinion or some opinion I haven't considered before, I'll change my own opinion. And I think that's good. It shows that your mind is adapting all the time. It shows you're open. Absolutely. So, you know, I used to believe that you have to decide what you want to do. Sometimes I think, well, think about where you want to be. Where is the place on earth you most like to be? Where would you see yourself happiest in your life? And what do you picture yourself doing in that image, in that vision? Are you literally just sitting in a deck chair drinking pina coladas? Well, that sounds great for a holiday. I mean, but I'm sure you're going to get bored after that. So you've got to think about more. You've got to make that picture, make that movie in your head a little bit more in depth. What is it you want to do? What is it you want to achieve? That is the phrase. What do you want to achieve?
Yeah.
I mean, you will at some point. All of us will come across people who have that sort of mindset. To say, oh, I want a mansion and I want a yacht and I want a Ferrari. Okay, fair enough. Maybe they go and work for it and they accomplish it. But once they've accomplished it, then what? That's what I'm saying to you. You know, what's next? Because you always have to have another goal. Yeah. And that's why I think it's important to figure out, where do you see yourself and what is it doing? I mean, literally, what is the job doing? It's not just making money to get a thing. I want a mansion, I want a yacht, I want a Ferrari. Because that's not, those are just tangible things that you can pick up and throw away. But what do you actually want to do? What do you want to achieve in doing something? Do you want to go and save the rainforests? Do you want to go and you know, help the fight against global pollution? Something like that. Now, this is something that will never die. It's a job that will go on and on and on, and you can rise through the ranks and you can go and do various things all over the planet. That might be something that would be of interest to some people. That doesn't become then a job. That becomes a lifelong purpose. And that's the difference. Do you see yourself in a job, or do you see yourself following a purpose in life? What is your purpose? What are you here to do on this planet? Is it to work for someone else? There's nothing wrong with saying, yes, you know, I prefer to take my orders from someone else and do a good job and present the person who's asked me for it like an artist. You know, you could be an artist and someone says, oh, will you paint my dog, or will you paint my kids, or whatever? And you do it. There's no shame in that. If you've got the gift to do it, then by all means do it. But figure out what sort of person you are. Are you a person that likes to be asked to do something and then you give in return? Or are you the sort of person that wants to be the person doing the asking, doing the ordering, doing the demanding? Or
Mm.
are you the sort of person who just wants to go out and, like a good Samaritan, just go and give?
Mm. Mm.
These are important questions we all need to ask ourselves. And we need to constantly keep asking them, because the answer will constantly change. My questions that I've just, thrown out there, they've changed all the time. I used to be a person that just wanted to work in an office and just do what other people told me. Then I changed to being the sort of managerial. I wanted to be the one doing the ordering. And now I'm the person who just wants to go and offer help anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
So again, coming back to the mind, we have to expand our minds more. We have to constantly be stretching the mind. We have to be constantly going to a mental gym, if you like. We can take breaks, as we do from the gym. Take a break from stretching your mind. You can just go and veg out. That's fine. But at some point, you've got to go back. You've got to go and stretch your mind again and go and push yourself. Go and test yourself. Go and ask yourself some difficult questions. Who am I? When am I? What do I like now? Well, I used to like this. I don't like that anymore. So what do I like now? I don't know. Well, let's go and push myself, find some discomfort, and find out maybe there'll be something in that I've learned that I like.
Yeah.
I did that just really brief, very shortly. I did that when I was living in South America for 3 years. I quit the police. Very, very long story, very short. I was coming close to a breakdown. I couldn't take it anymore. And I just took a one-way ticket to South America with no plans. And I had to figure out pretty damn fast, what am I going to do to put food on the table? And I had no experience in anything else other than really generally being a police officer. And then I realized, what are my skills? What do I have? Look at my environment. No one here speaks English. I decided to just launch myself as an English teacher. And it was really uncomfortable. I can tell you, I was very, 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 very nervous, and I nearly took myself out of it. I was like, well, I can't just go and talk to a class full of people who don't speak English. But I did it. I pushed myself. I was sweating. I was shaking. I was all nerves, tripping over my words.
Yeah.
But eventually I got over my fear, and I just damn well did it. And I became so good at it that I set myself up in business.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You've got to push yourself. Get uncomfortable. And it'll be amazing what you can find out from those uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
That's where we grow. That's where we grow.
No, I think you're spot on, Adrian. I think with everything you said, I completely agree. And I think, you've from your experience and what you've done, you've been in all the different situations, and you've seen that different lens that, because you've gone in different circumstances, different locations, different jobs, and you tried things out and you realize, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Don't want this anymore. And, this isn't working for me. What you said, like I said, that kind of completion that we're all kind of driving towards, thinking that getting that car, getting that thing, getting that job, getting that role is, the thing that we want. And then you get there and you might be like, oh, now what?
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, those questions to ask yourself are key, and they're crucial to be like, what is it I want to do? My surroundings. And, because we've all got, the ability to create whatever circumstance we want.
Yeah.
You've got to push out there.
I think it all starts from one thing. If we can even go back even sort of before what we were just talking, like the conversation started about, just about pushing our limits, is the reason why we want to push our limits. It's not just to grow, but also if you're unhappy, if there's something not right in your life, if you're feeling there's something missing, and you think, I don't know what it is, but I'm not really feeling fulfilled in my life, that is the perfect start for you to start looking for change, seeking change, and putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
I know it's difficult, and God knows I know, because I've been there. In fact, I'm still in that situation. I always talk the talk and walk the walk. Without without putting yourself into financial difficulties, like numero uno here, there are better ways to do it. And if you plan them properly, you can navigate like a sailor, like a ship through the seas. You can navigate a way to change your life, try new things, push your limits, test yourself, and come out the other side and be stronger, better informed, more intelligent, better educated about everything that you are interested in doing. And maybe you'll find yourself a new job, a new life, a new country to live in. And you'll be completely different from the old person. And the only thing you'll be saying to yourself is, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, it's so important just to take that leap and not have that regret, isn't it? You know, not to have that burden and things.
Yeah, we mustn't be hard on ourselves, because other people are going to be hard on us. The world is going to be hard on us. So why add to that by being hard on yourself, by adding regret to that? Try not to regret. It's easier said than done, and I appreciate that. But you know, I think the very common phrase is, it's better to have regretted having done something, in most cases, than not having done something.
Yeah.
Go and do it. Go and try it. As long as it's not going to kill you, go and do it. Go and do it. Go and try it, and you'll have grown for the experience.
Yeah.
Nothing is a waste of time, except sitting on your butt and doing nothing. That's a waste of time. But if you have an opportunity, this is even more special. If someone offers you the opportunity, don't turn it down. It's life knocking on your door.
Yeah.
Saying, I'm about to offer you something. It might be good for you, it might be bad for you, but hey, why don't you try it out? But if you're going to have that negative little voice going, nah, you're not going to be any good at that, you're going to suck at that, then you're never going to get up from that sofa. You're never going to walk through that door that opportunity's just opened for you.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, you know, we've got to just take what, you know, someone like offers you something, you know, a job opportunity, a place
someone
to go.
Offers you a job tomorrow in Ontario, Canada, or Cape Town, South Africa. That's opportunity knocking at your door. You're going to have little voices left, right, and centre. Oh, it's too far away. Oh, you're not going to see your family for a little while. Or say, you know what? Never been there, never done that. I'd like to give that a go.
Yeah.
And go and do it. I can live without my family for 6 months or whatever. I'll Skype them, I'll Zoom them. But let me go and do this. Let me go and see what I'm made of. Let me see if this is the beginning of a brand new life for me.
Yeah.
You just don't know. So take those opportunities. Push yourself.
No, exactly. No, I completely agree. And I think it's so important to, you know, do what makes you happy and just take those chances, you know, and just get out there. And I've got to cut short, Adrian, because I'm getting messages off my mom. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course it is.
but Adrian, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you again, and being able to, like, you know, see each other and everything. Really,
absolutely.
Really had. It's always. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll do this again. Don't worry.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's not like we're strangers. We do this every year. So.
Yeah. But no, it really means a lot. I'm really grateful for your time, and thank you for coming on the podcast again. And I think, you know, like what you said, I completely agree. And I think, you know, we really talked about some really good topics that, you know, people can take a lot from.
Yeah, I hope so. Great, Adam. Well, I wish you all the best, and I will speak to you very soon. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, of course.
Enjoy the hot weather while it's here, because I don't think it's going to be here for long.
yeah. Good old England.
Good old England, eh?
Yeah.
All right, and take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too. All the best, Adrian.
Bye for now.
Cheers, man. All the best. Cheers, man.